Here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 212 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, Juac?
You know my guy on the other end.
And that fool blazer, Ramon.
On the other end is... We are...
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Joyce.
Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, man, we're back. Took 2 weeks off for, I guess, good reason, but not so good reason, you know. For those of you who do not know, I shared it a little bit. I threw like little notes in there in the IG stories and stuff. Man, I had it's been a shitty 2 weeks. I lost one of my younger brothers, and as much as I say that shit, still doesn't feel real. Will never feel real. And it's just very shitty that he's gone. But I don't want to, serious it out and, just put, yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Siri got you. She knows times are tough. Oh fuck! I said Siri and my phone went off.
She said it's time to bring some levity.
Time to bring some levity. Nah, man. Yeah, man. I lost my younger brother, Macho. Jerry. He was on our show once for sure, and he got us all.
A couple times in the cut.
Yeah, a couple times in the cut. The Thanksgiving episode a few years back.
Favorite episode of all time.
Where he was just feeding us. He brought Patron, and he was just feeding us Patron while we were all in-house, Danny. And we had a blast that episode. For those of you who want to hear his voice, get a just a taste of his personality. He was also on episode 79, where he was a guest with Prince. Macho, from a early age, bro. He's been in the entertainment industry, right, doing promotions, party promotions from a young age, running teen nights with his friend, with his buddy Marco and my cousin EJ, and they were just running the shit. He would throw events here. I remember when he brought Bad Bunny just before Bad Bunny blew up, and he was driving him around, and Macho just he lived. He just turned 30 last month at the end of March.
Crazy.
So he lived a long life in those 30 years, and he did a lot. He would tell me stories, and he would make trips to New York often, and he had some baddies out there that he would, chill with all the time.
All the time. He stayed with them baddies all the time. Every time I saw him, son, it was just baddies and booties everywhere, son. That's what's up.
Baddies and booties.
Yeah, I remember he was excited as a bitch because he saw 50 Cent at the strip club out there, and then got a picture with him and shit. Just crazy, man, crazy.
That's wild.
He did a lot. He did a lot in his 30s, or in his 20s. Like I said, just turned 30. So in that short time, he definitely made an impact on everybody. That showed during his service. People were saying that they couldn't even park for blocks.
Could imagine.
So he had a great send off. I can go on and on about my brother. And all I can really say is that I'm gonna miss you, bro. So I don't know, let's take a little cheers for Jerry.
Absolutely.
Macho forever, baby. All right, man.
Good fucking kid.
Yeah. Great kid. All right, Dave, man. Let's bring this up a little bit. Hit us with some
Question. All right, fellas. You're going to be hosting an orgy. All right? And you're going to need some fuel for the participants. A little smorgasbord, some grub. Give me 3 foods that y'all would serve at your orgy.
Yo, this would have been a great question for Jerry, damn it.
I would say if we have anybody that listens that wants to comment that they've been to an orgy, let me know what was served, or if you've thrown an orgy, let me know what you put on the menu, because this is a genuine question.
Yeah, I have 2 answers because it's very important, the question that is being left out of this.
Okay.
Is the food
when you say you have 2 answers, you have 6 options?
Yes. Yeah.
It's the old country buffet he's got going on at the orgy, son.
So because I'd imagine orgies can get wild.
Sure.
The question I was posing is the food being served pre-orgy or post-orgy? Because
it's all throughout. There's waiters walking around, and then there's tables if you want to wait till you're done doing
ain't
your
nobody
thing.
eating, son. Ain't nobody eating.
Stations.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
There, you want to grab, you grab.
Yeah, for sure. No one's gonna force you.
Yeah. No, so I mean, it's gonna be more than 3 options here. So I was thinking like for grazing and pre-orgy, that's gonna be like your veggies. Veggie platters out there, right? Some fruits, some maybe some cold cuts and some crack, like
cold
very
cuts.
Light, very light,
very light
stuff.
dog. My man's eating a sandwich. Like, yo, son, you smell like gabagool.
You can get some, like cheese trays and charcuterie boards.
Charcuteries.
I don't know if I want my meats sweating out amongst other sweaty meats, dog.
You're right. Maybe not the cold cuts, but maybe some just light, very light,
like
and
nice
then
Mediterranean platters.
Yeah, and then afterward,
cheese and olives.
After the orgy, who gives a fuck? Like, give them all garbage plates.
I'm gonna have garbage plates and some barbecue.
Some barbecue.
Pit master show up.
The shit looks like what I was just eating.
Yeah. It's like, you take your plate and go home.
Johnny, what did you have on your orgy menu?
Juac was thinking very chefish, very caterish.
He really was planning.
I like the the setup. This feels like a very well organized event. I was thinking a little more fuck around type shit. So
just sprinkle some McDonald's
so I started
around
with mini sausages.
Okay.
I see you're setting the tone.
I thought about cocktail wieners.
Yeah, cocktail wieners. Or if you want to do pigs in a blanket, you could make them pigs in a blanket.
Sure.
So you're trying to get them used to the fact that there are little sausages in
that makes his sausage look bigger when they're holding these little fucking. I see what you're doing now. That's big brain shit, son.
Yeah, get used to sucking on that small thing.
Mm-hmm. Here's a little lightly not smaller thing.
There's these treats, I guess. I don't even know what to refer to. Desserts that my girl would typically. She hasn't been in a long time, but my wife would make these around the holidays. I just always called them bolas because they were balls, but they're Oreo balls. And so,
those are fire,
I think it's like Oreo and cream cheese or some shit. You crush it up and
they roll them. You roll them in the crushed up Oreo.
And it's really good, but also fits the tone, of the event.
That's for sure.
And then,
especially if
and then
Johnny eats one. You said cream cheese? I know what that means.
There's a lot of color and a lot of cream cheese on these balls.
Gonna be walking through the orgy like.
Oh, true
asshole
I'll take my
beatboxing
pills.
and
I'll
shit.
take my pills. Right before, just like when I drink this White Russian.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I noticed your drink was light brown. I was like, ooh, that looks milky.
Oh, it's very milky. Pause. But I took my lactate pills. No, and then my last thing is because very similar to how Juac said, after the event, there's probably just hunger, right? It's a energy intensive event, and so I was just like, I don't know, something that's a good finger food to take home. Empanadas. That's where I'm gonna go with.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Go
one.
to an orgy, you're just driving home with an empanada, dog. You just bang like 8 chicks. That's what's up, dog. That sounds like a good night. Fuck. I didn't have an after orgy meal planned like you guys. I really once you shoot that load, bro, you need to get the fuck out, move the fuck on. Like this isn't a fucking sleepover, dog.
There's not a double load orgy?
Nah, I mean, I guess you got like 5 minutes to pump another one out. Other than that, I'm not impressed, dog. You can't
If
sit
you're
there
trying to have
whacking
another
your shit
orgy
in the
down the
corner.
road, you better treat them right
Yeah.
on the way out too.
Oof.
that's
Imagine going
fair.
to your
That's
second orgy for the night. Like, you just, you show up and they know that you were at another orgy. They're like,
No.
"Bro,
I mean,
You said down the road. I thought you meant down the street.
that's what I meant. That's what I thought you meant too.
I'm just mean like you want them all to come back. Hey, you kick them all out. That was your last orgy, dog.
I ain't got to kick them out, but we're all going to stare at them.
You said once I bust a nut, y'all got to get the fuck out.
All right, you're done. Move on. I don't got that
son.
much food. So I was going for
Put that
things
shit
you
down.
could eat one-handed. It's just
Ooh, okay.
easily
Oh, okay.
one-handed.
Oh,
so
like-
I had.
Oh.
So if you want, if you want to keep pounding and eating, that's doable, son. Like that's on you if that's the route you want to take.
George Costanza reference you made.
So I got fresh fruit skewers. So I like where you were at with the fruit. I didn't go like cold cheese or charcuterie, but that could be a nice off to the side. Maybe in another room. Like I said, I don't want it sweating around everything. It's kind of gross. You know how meat gets when you leave it out for a little bit. I have mini quiches. I feel like those are light enough and tasty enough. They're just very poppable. Like you could
Sounds
take a
about
little
right.
break, pop a couple quiches. And then popsicles, different flavored popsicles. You can get freaky with them if you want to, or you just chill out, munch a popsicle, have a good time.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think I would prepare
popsicles.
little doggy bags to take home, like when you left a birthday party when you were a kid. Just all kinds of like weird sex shit in there though, like lube and condoms and all kinds of pocket pussies.
For not to
Your
use
hand-
during
wait.
the orgy. Because
Wait.
that sounds like a gift bag that they should get when they walk in.
No, that's all out on a separate table. All your accoutrement, like your lubes and whatnot, that's all provided.
What kind of
You're not
orgy
gonna-
you
you're not gonna
having
bring
that you're
any of that
handing
shit.
out pocket pussies?
Okay.
That's what's up.
This
You got to
motherfucker
practice.
This motherfucker handing out pocket pussies at an orgy.
Word.
What kind of orgy are you having that you need to hand out pocket pussies?
No, that's in the to-go bag, dog. That's in your party
Yeah.
favor bag to take home, dog.
I know. Who do you think uses pocket pussies, bro? Guys? What the fuck are we talking
Yeah.
about?
You're saying all chick. Are you guys implying that there's no dudes at your orgies?
Okay.
Are they all lesbian orgies? Because I'm cool with that. I assumed there would be both genders. Like,
I
Pound
assume
him.
if it's an orgy, it's probably just a random
Sure.
grouping of humans.
Yeah, my guy was like, yeah, you just throw some pocket pussies in there. Whoa, hold
hey, sure, why not?
up. Wait, there's
I mean,
more than
yeah,
there's more
not
than
everyone would enjoy the pocket pussy, but the
Maybe they have a
dudes
lover.
would.
Maybe it's a surprise. Who knows?
yeah. Maybe they could
don't-
take it home to their man.
Hey, exactly. Your girl comes home. She's like, "Hey, I got this." Like, where the fuck did you get that?
Give it
You
to
at an
me.
orgy? What else you got? What else you got in the bag?
What else they gave you?
What else they gave you?
All right.
My cut.
All right. Now that we have our orgy menu planned,
Yes.
what movie sequels are better than the originals? And for our listeners, we took Terminator 2 and The Dark Knight off the board just because those were such easy gimmies. They're probably shouting those out like, what the fuck? That's why we're not saying those.
I went first last time, so
I'll go first.
Johnny,
All right,
take
let's
that.
get it.
I've always, and I don't think this is like a Johnny opinion or anything.
What does that mean? What's a Johnny opinion? Like,
So I do want to, when you say sequel, specifically like part 2?
no, it could be 3,
just-
4,
it
yeah,
could be 3 or
anywhere,
4.
anywhere.
Okay.
I had one like that too. It's funny you asked that.
So then I'll have 2 answers.
Okay.
Interestingly, both George Lucas related films. So my part 2 would have been Empire Strikes Back. I thought it was
Fuck yeah, that's a good
deeper
one.
movie. It was better than the Star Wars was great. Empire Strikes Back was like, holy shit, how
Yeah.
can this get even better? Like they really stepped it up. And then you got to there was the whole revelation of spoiler alert, Darth Vader's
Spoiler.
father.
Right.
So yeah, that was my thing. But if it could be a part 3, I always, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I always mostly, and again, it could be because when I saw it, but the Indiana Jones 3rd movie, now I'm forgetting the name.
Is that the one with the?
That's the one with his father. With Sean
Connery.
Yeah.
Is it Temple of Doom? No, Raiders of the
Not
Lost
Temple
Ark
of
is
Doom.
first.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is first. Temple of Doom is second. Jesus Christ, how did I not? That's how much I love this
honestly,
movie.
I know, I lost it too.
The Last Crusade.
Last Crusade.
Fuck.
It's been so long since I've seen
There you go.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That one was great. That one was great.
I always enjoyed it more. I felt like it was less serious, a little bit more on the humor side, but there was also like that was the one I believe that they were searching. They had the whole Knights Templar thing with the cup, the chalice. What the fuck is that called?
Oh yeah. The
God, I'm losing. I need to stop.
the Holy
smoking,
Grail.
guys.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. There you go.
Yeah.
The Sangreal. For those that have done the Dan Brown Da Vinci Code thing. Anyways,
Deep.
it was just more fun. I always enjoyed it with the father-son dynamic. It was, but I saw it when I was like 12 years old, right? So like for me, like that was more of a fun movie than. Like, I always thought that both Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark had a little bit more, like, scary themes to them. Like, there was a little bit more danger and a little
Get your
bit
fucking
more...
heart ripped out, bro.
Yeah. So those were always kind of like, oh, I don't know if I like this movie. And again, I was, like, like 8, 9, 10 years old.
So it's all
around
kind of
those
creepy.
times. Yeah. So, Last Crusade, I thought was a really great
Nice.
sequel trilogy.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well thought out, well constructed.
Typical
Thank you for
Johnny
that.
answer, right?
I fuck with it. I had two, and one was kind of a generic, and one was kind of a deep cut. And I think I've said on the pod before that I think The Godfather 2 was better because I like seeing De Niro and like young Vito Corleone back in Sicily and shit. And then he like stabs the dude and shit. It's just good shit to see all those characters young, kind of like a prequel almost, just to kind of add to the dope shit from the first one. So I think Godfather 2 is better, but like on a deep cut level, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Problem Child series, but
Yeah.
Problem Child 2 is hands down better than Problem
Yes.
Child 1. Without a doubt.
Agreed.
Fucking Gilbert Gottfried was killing it.
Yep.
And just those fucking kids, like I grew
right.
up watching that all the time, and I had both of them on VHS, and Problem Child 2 broke way sooner because I would just watch the absolute fuck out of them. And I've watched them as an adult, and I still stand by that 110%.
For those of you listeners that have no idea what he means when he says that it broke sooner, there used to
VHS
literally be a tape that you would press into the VCR, which was the player. And sometimes when you watched it too many times, the tape breaks.
Yeah.
Gets fucked. It can only be rewound and played so many times. And we had one of those dope car rewinders that you would put it into and fucking push that
You had
fucking
one of
shit.
those?
Fuck yeah, we did.
I'm pretty sure Juac had one of those. I'm almost positive you had one, no?
Nah, I don't think I ever had one of those. I don't remember having one of those.
Then it must have been Swerve. Swerve had one.
Yeah. We had the dual VCRs.
Oh, with
so
the
you could rewind on
recording
the other side?
that
Yeah.
Blockbuster shit.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah.
That's
when
what's
Blockbuster
up.
really first started.
It was literally like you press one button and it would duplicate as it played. So we would watch a movie
Genius.
and record it at the same time. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I have more than two, but
It's all right.
you know,
Drop
you
'em.
know how that goes. And y'all haven't touched on any of the ones on my list, so that's great.
Oh, wait. Before you go, I also had as an honorable mention Nightmare on Elm Street
honorable.
3.
Which one was that?
That was Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
Dream
You're
Warriors.
not alone on that
Fucking
one.
tight.
Yeah, you're not alone on that one.
Word.
All
All right,
right,
go ahead.
so for me, Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Fuck yeah.
Good call.
Very
Yes.
good call.
Definitely. And you can even everything before that, like that shit was better than every Marvel MCU movie before that, because that shit just took it to the next level. So that shit was fire.
The Bourne fighting was tight. That's what
Yes.
I really appreciated
I
the
don't know if it
most.
was better than Iron Man.
I was just gonna say Iron Man 1 is still the GOAT,
maybe no.
but that's
Well, it was
number 2.
because-
That's a close number 2 there.
Nostalgic Then
Nah, that was tight. I just watched that the other day. That was super
Action
tight.
wise, yeah, Iron Man was dope. I'm not saying that any of the ones beforehand weren't dope, but it was like the first straight up action espionage style of movie that
was Russo brothers.
really, that really kicked it off. Yes, and led us into like the dope Avengers type movies, you know.
Agreed.
So that was dope. Next one, as much as I hate this franchise, I really enjoyed this particular movie, and that was Fast 5. That was specifically the one where they went to Rio.
I do remember the Rio.
that was the one where they went to
yes.
Rio, and that's the first one that really changed it, because they did, you know, the first Fast and the Furious was good. It was about cars, blah blah blah. Like, it was good. Second movie, it was like, whatever. Like, it lost its luster a little bit. Third movie, they tried to change it. It had Tokyo Drift. I thought that one was pretty dope. And then they brought the cast back for the next one, and it was just like, it was more like, the cast is back. And then Fast 5 really changed it and set the pace, set the
Which
tone.
one was part 4?
They brought the cast back. And
Which
it
one was that? Was that Too Fast, Too Furious?
No, that was part 2.
That was number 2.
Yeah, it was just called Fast and Furious. Was part 4.
Okay.
And then they did Fast 5. That's where they went to Rio. It was like a bank heist. They brought in The Rock, it was just like a much bigger movie. And I remember like really enjoying it, even though it was kind of over the top. And then everything after that was just like trying to
elevate.
completely elevate what they did in that movie. But that movie particularly, I think,
That's a good call.
was the better of that whole franchise.
So do you think? So you're saying you think Fast 5 was better than Tokyo Drift?
Yes.
Okay.
I fucked with
that's fine.
Tokyo Drift. A lot of people didn't, though.
I mean, Tokyo Drift was like a movie on its own. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't even feel like it was
that
part
the last
of it.
Paul? It didn't for a long time. Was that the last Paul Walker movie, or was he in the one after that too?
He was in 6. I think 7 was the last one he was in.
With the CGI, like with his brother.
Yeah, where they had to finish it with his brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say that was 7.
Damn.
I know. There's so many. All right, so that's
Doing 11 now. Jesus.
next one on my list, Aliens, the sequel to Alien.
Ooh, yeah.
Good call.
That was way better. They upped the ante on that, and in a good way. That really crushed it. All right, now let's get into the Juac bag. You know, my younger when I was younger, I love these movies. And you may or may not agree, but Addams Family Values was better than the first Addams Family movie.
Was that the one where they went to camp? With the turkeys
yeah, with the baby. They had the
baby.
baby.
The baby mustache.
Yeah,
dude.
I thought
I
that
did
one was
fuck with that
way
a
better
lot,
than the first one. Even though I fuck with the first one.
For sure.
But it was way too much about Uncle Fester being,
Yeah.
away. And, it was kind of, even though shit was hilarious, the second one really got a little goofier, and I thought I enjoyed it more.
I agree.
And then my next two, we've had the conversation, and it was ones that you guys did not agree with me, but I still stick to it 100%. And it's Batman Returns for me.
No.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes,
Batman
no.
Returns for me.
Yes. No.
Batman Returns for me was better than the first. Ooh. And I saw the first.
Heart, dog.
Yeah, a couple years back because y'all said that, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a much bigger movie. Everything.
That's
after
like
that
saying
sucked.
Speed 2 was better than Speed, son. That's wild. That's frivolous,
enjoyed
dog.
it.
You're being
I
frivolous
loved it.
with our listeners'
I
I
loved
ears
it
wouldn't
right
go
way
now.
that far, but that's some shit.
I loved it. And then arguably because I'm not even 100%
It's
sure
like
on
a
this
fucking
one.
Christmas movie.
Yes, I am going to bring up a Christmas movie because
Seriously,
yes,
a Christmas movie.
Home
a
Alone
second
2.
Christmas movie.
Home
Alone 2.
Christmas movies. Whoa, what
Home
the
Alone 2.
Home Alone
Yes.
2?
Yes.
Why not Home Alone 3?
I know.
Why not
might as
Home
well
Alone 4?
5.
No, let's not get crazy.
Wow,
Home
really?
Alone 3.
Yeah.
The New York one was better.
It's a hot take.
That
It's a
is
hot
very
take.
I
Very
think
hot
that's
take.
a hotter take than the freaking Batman Returns.
No, that
Without
one is
a doubt.
hot take. That one is a hot take. And
Super
I'm not saying
controversial.
no, first movie
Wow.
was fucking amazing. So, but yeah, I enjoyed as a kid. I really enjoyed the second one much more than the first.
That is
That's an opinion.
I know. It's an opinion.
It's
It's an opinion. That's all this ever
we
is.
respect all opinions on this show, but we
don't respect
reserve
all
the right to
opinions,
talk
no.
shit.
I don't respect all opinions on this show.
I just honestly, there was always a like, oh, this is cool, it's in New York thing. But even at that age, I realized that I am watching the exact same movie again, but in New York. Like there was almost nothing different. Every trope about how he got left behind again was almost the same. And every action or setup that Kevin did.
Yeah, it happened in the first.
These are the same ones that you did last time. You're just doing them in New York this time.
Yeah.
And using, outdoor shit or for the most part or,
There was something special about him defending his home to me, like his house. Like we all can empathize with put yourself in that position, but like some renovated house in New York City,
He wasn't even
it was
home.
cool. It was okay, but
He was at a hotel.
it wasn't the same. And the hotel was dope. And, Tim Curry, fantastic.
Tim
Rob
Curry was
Schneider.
good. Yeah. He played Tim
But, yeah.
Curry.
For sure.
Yeah.
Rob
I
Schneider.
enjoyed it. And that's where we got the first Talk Boy. That's where it
Very
It's because you had a
Very,
Talk
very
Boy,
true.
isn't it? Mr.
It
Talk
That's
Boy.
what
It
it
is.
is.
Oh, I'm sorry that you guys didn't have a Talk Boy. I'm so sorry about that.
Well, thank
should
you.
be.
It's about time that I've heard those words come from your mouth. right, did we all go with our
Yeah.
sequels? Okay.
All the hot takes.
We did.
We got them. We got them hot takes. That's for sure. All right, last question. In honor of Mother's Day, which was just a couple days ago as of us recording this, let's hear you guys. Give me your best and worst moms in movie or TV history.
Oh, best and worst moms.
Best and worst. You just give me one from each, or if you have some honorable mentions, feel free to throw those in too.
Oh, I wish I remembered that I sent you this question because I didn't write down any of them. Let's see. Do you have any on mine?
I do, actually. So
Go for it.
For my best,
Oh, okay. I think
I'm having a hard time thinking of a better mom than Mrs. Gump, Forrest Gump's mom. I mean,
she was
how
amazing.
many of your moms got her cheeks clapped up by the schoolmaster to get her son in?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We all heard those noises. Although when we were
fair.
young,
Did.
maybe we didn't know what it was, but we knew that she was a good mom. And, you know, cheek clapping aside, Forrest was a good dude. He had a good head on his shoulders.
No, yeah. His mom.
I
did
think
everything she could
she
for
brought
him.
it. Worst mom? I had a tie from the mom from Throw Mama from the Train. Because she just terrified me as a kid, bro. She was so scary. I could barely watch that movie as an adult. And Marie Barone, Raymond's mom from Everybody Loves Raymond. Just so smothering and terrible.
Aw.
And, you know, I guess she means well sometimes, but she can be very mean to Deborah. And I really don't like it. I don't like her attitude at all. So those were my best and worst moms. Love you, Mom.
Oh man, I got to think on the best mom because I have two up for the worst moms in TV history. Jesus Christ.
Well, I'll go with my best.
Sure.
What do we got?
I don't think it's controversial, but people, because of the dad, people don't really consider this or have you can't even watch the show anymore. I don't think. But Claire Huxtable, I think, was the best mom ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
She was badass. She defended herself when she needed to. She was smart as fuck. She was loving, and she taught her children well. She raised them all really well. So that was always dope. And she was pretty damn fucking hot for 80s,
80s mom for sure.
Yeah.
Banging.
Alicia Rashad, right? I think that's her name.
Yes.
Felicia Rashad.
Felicia.
Rashad. Then, bad moms, I think one of the worst moms I can think of, I mean, besides, the Bates Motel, Norman Bates mom.
Sure. Yeah,
that's a killer mom. I'm going to go with Tony's mom. I don't remember her name.
Livia.
What was it?
Livia Soprano.
Yeah.
Livia Soprano.
Fuck her.
Dude, that's a good one, bro. That's a really dope. She
She
is way worse than either of the moms that I picked, bro. She's
such a
the worst. A fucking hit, bro. She put a hit on her kid, dog.
She tried to murk her
son. Tried to murk him. Yeah,
and then tried to make him feel bad about it the whole time.
The whole time, bro. So
brought
many,
up all
everyone
the
around her,
grandkids
miserable
against her. Yeah, fuck that, man.
Ugh.
I was
Such a
not
good one.
upset
I'm
when
so
she passed
jealous
away.
that you thought of that one. And I just watched The Sopranos too. So how is that not so fresh in my fucking head?
That was the one on my list.
Sopranos, which is why.
That was the one on my list. So I'm gonna have to go with my second answer. And this is when you say TV, movies count, right?
Yeah, I said TV or movies.
Okay,
I said both.
TV and movie. Okay. So yes, so that was my worst mom. So I'm gonna go with my next answer, the fucking mom from Blow. Johnny Depp's mom in Blow. Oh my God, was she the fucking worst, bro? Like,
And the
she
New England
called the
accent didn't
cops
help.
on him.
It did not.
Fucking just, so fucking. I want to.
I do
If I
remember
ever
hating
meet
her.
that actress, it's gonna take everything in me to not smack the fuck out of her. Is how much I couldn't stand her in that movie. And then best mom, I'm gonna have to give it to real throwback Carol Brady, bro. She took in
For
his
sure.
3 kids and treated them exactly like her own kids.
Yeah, you would never know.
Like nobody even like. Did we ever hear who their actual mom was? No, because
I never
Carol
watched
was
the
it.
Brady Bunch like that. I
think
was there canon? I think there's Brady Bunch canon.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
there is.
there is. I'm pretty sure the mom, Dad Brady's first wife, died.
Sure.
But I don't know what happened to her husband.
I think
If
he
he
was
died
fooling
or-
around on her.
She killed his ass. I don't know.
Yeah, she probably murked him
Maybe.
on the low.
Cyanide.
Oh,
Coffee.
Yeah.
that's good.
Even if that were true, I would still. Have
I
to
would
stand by.
still
because
pick her.
damn it, she treated
She was
those
a good
other
one.
kids just like her own.
I ain't
She
gonna
did.
lie. When you first posted this question and told us, gave us the heads up on it, the first thing that came into my head was Mrs. Beaver. from
Yeah,
Leave It
yeah.
to Beaver.
June Cleaver. Yeah.
June Cleaver. Yeah,
I'm surprised nobody said her. That would have been a real good one. She was a good one.
yeah. I mean, she was solid. You know, it's
And
just
she's smoke show, dude.
also. I just don't think that I remember enough of
No,
Leave It to
no.
Beaver.
Nah, I don't remember it at all.
I watched the movie. The movie was funny. Like from the 90s, the Leave It to Beaver movie.
Who was?
Christopher McDonald was the dad,
Oh,
Shooter McGavin. And I forget who the kid was, but he was really funny, dude. It was a real. I used to watch it all the time with my sister when I
and
was
I
a kid.
remember it not being like
Yeah.
one of the good ones.
It was
'Cause
another
that was around the
VHS
same
I
time.
wore out.
There was a lot of those like 50s made into 90s movies around that time.
Yeah.
'Cause they did Dennis the Menace too.
Yeah, I love Dennis the Menace too. That was a good
Oh,
one.
that was great.
Yeah, that's
fucked
the
with Dennis the
same.
Menace.
I love them equally, dude. Leave It to Beaver and Dennis the Menace were so good. Still to this day, they're so good. I'll watch them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I introduced my kids to Dennis the Menace. They fucking love that shit.
That's what's up.
Like the show, the cartoon, or the movie.
No, the movie.
Yeah, the movie, dog.
Yeah, the movie. I didn't put them on to no show. They not fucking with that. Let's see. No, yeah, I think we Gucci.
We Gucci. That's questions.
That's questions.
All right, so then
You know what it's time for.
Well, nothing in the world has happened since the last time we gathered.
Hollywood.
Let's go. Let's see. Personally, one of the big things that has happened in the United States of America in the past 2 weeks, it's been made official that the HHS is recommending to the DEA to officially reschedule cannabis to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act, which is a good win for most Americans that care about cannabis.
Yeah, just a step in the right direction. It's not a
step in the
solve-all.
right direction,
Definitely
yes.
a step in the right direction, and we'll take it. Something we've been waiting for a very, very long time.
Yeah, it's we're all looking to eventually deschedule or remove it from Controlled Substance Act and
Baby steps.
do a real federal regulation, the way kind of the way Canada has done, right? You know,
Sure.
like just basically legalize and regulate, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, as Dave said so eloquently, a step in the right direction, I think, is the best term here. What are your thoughts, or do you have any thoughts other than that on what's happened?
I mean, hopefully this just will, hasten up legalization elsewhere in the states, the dominoes start falling like they have been. It started with medicinal states and then recreational. And I don't know the exact number of like recreational and medicinal states right now, but I've seen those maps that are, colored in, and they're getting pretty fucking dark, dude. And I
in total 38, 39 states.
Yeah,
have some
I was
sort of
gonna
legal-
say, yeah, in some capacity it's, medicinal, whether how regulated it is, we don't know, but recreational in a lot of places. Like I said, step in the right direction, long overdue. And hopefully like it keeps the ball moving so that all the states can partake if they want and leave it alone if they don't. But everyone should have that option, I feel like.
Word. Yeah. What to break it down a little bit for listeners. What it doesn't mean, if you happen to have caught this news over the past couple weeks, what it doesn't mean is that like weed is federally legal, or that you can sell marijuana on the internet, or that marijuana could cross state lines. Like none of that shit is legit. Even though, the other types of drugs that are on Schedule 3 are like Tylenol, right?
Yeah.
Like
very chill.
Very chill. It's still not legal, right? It's still regulated. Mm-hmm. The other thing too, there's a lot of questions or a lot of comments, maybe is the better thing, of people claiming that because it's Schedule 3 now, that means it's under FDA purview, which means that the pharmacies will get into the game and that they'll kind of take over weed sales and whatnot. And while that's kind of technically true, the FDA also never, has not been involved in any of the other cannabis shit. Mm-hmm. And so more than likely, the only FDA involvement and pharmaceutical involvement would be, kind of the way that they're basically an extraction. I forget what the term is called, like an isolate, basically, an isolation. So that they, through chemical removal can isolate THC as a compound and then create a medicine off of that, right? The way kind of how like people say that, that there's tangible benefits for epilepsy by, either like Rick Simpson oil usage or other types of THC usage. Mm-hmm. If they could, because it's now Schedule 3, it opens it up for more research, right? So you can actually find out what is the actual compound within THC that specifically allows for, epileptic seizures to be reduced or be removed. And then we create basically a pill off of that. That's where I do see kind of pharmacy getting involved in. But when it comes to like, just flour, the shit that we typically cop, more than likely it's still going to be under the same kind of guidelines that people have right now, where, in the states that it's legal and they have adult use or whatever, they still do it their way, but it's not, in any federal thing.
What about the FDA getting involved with edibles?
I don't know.
Same thing.
I don't
you think they would
so?
just be hands off and be like, nah, we don't want to fucking touch that right now.
I think like if it's adult use, I don't think the FDA is not going to be involved in it at all.
Do they do anything with like alcohol? Like, do they work with like Anheuser-Busch to make sure that like ingredients and alcohol, anything?
No, because the alcohol and tobacco are not are exempt from the Controlled Substance Act.
Okay.
So they're under their whole own thing. So I don't think the FDA has anything to do with those. If not, they probably would have been banned a long time ago.
I was gonna say.
So yeah. So I eventually I think we'll get weed to that level, but for now, it also, the other thing, it doesn't expunge anyone's criminal records.
Yeah,
so
that's another question that I had.
Doesn't help
anyone incarcerated with marijuana charges.
It does reduce criminal penalties for anyone caught,
Going forward.
illegally selling. Yeah, moving forward.
It's not retroactive.
Once it's
though.
actually enabled. That's the other thing too, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that's happened so far is we've gotten confirmation that they will recommend this, but they still haven't even done the actual official recommendation.
So
and
we're still
filed the
counting our
paperwork.
chickens so far
Right.
before the okay.
And then once they do, then there's like a period of, appeal and rebuttals and all that shit. And then once it's finalized, it still takes 90 days to actually go into effect. So maybe by the end of the year, it'll
We
be
might
a
see
Schedule
GTA
3.
6 first before it's on the Schedule 3
Hopefully
list. What are we
not.
thinking?
Hopefully
let's,
not.
Let's keep an
Hopefully
eye
this
on that
will-
race. Let's keep an
yeah.
eye on that.
Hopefully this will win, because the biggest thing, I think, the biggest advantage of this is in my selfish care, the implications of Section 280E of the IRS tax code, which for those that are unaware,
For those couple of you that just aren't sure
just
what
a
he's talking
couple
about.
of you who are
Everyone else,
understand the IRS
they got
tax
us.
code.
Yeah.
Section 280E. If you know anything about cannabis business, this is all they ever talk about is 280E. If anyone has ever been interested in getting involved in that space, but 280E basically is a section of the IRS tax code that basically says if your company deals with illegal drugs that are on Schedule 1 or Schedule 2, so like if your company sells heroin or LSD, you can't make normal tax deductions that a normal business does. So you can't, deduct your costs of business. You can't deduct your employee salaries and salary taxes.
Overhead
You can't,
costs.
like just overheads, all the shit that you typically deduct on a normal business, you can't, which means you have to carry all of that, which means that most, as much as you think selling weed legally is like the most profitable, easy game ever, it's actually like the most difficult shit to do, to figure this shit out amongst the federal rules. And a lot of these places end up crashing a few years later because they didn't realize a lot of these penalties would be still lifted upon them. And so now removing that, if it does end up being a Schedule 3, then you're no longer subject to those 280E implications. Okay. It takes almost every single cannabis business immediately from being in the negative to being in the black, which is fucking gonna just increase more money into the cannabis industry, and it's going to just add more, kind of fuel to all of the research fire, the sales and the investment in the overall thing. So I think that's definitely the easiest thing. So if anybody asks you what's the big deal about weed going breaks. Schedule 3, it means nothing to the average weed smoker. It means everything to the people that you buy your weed from.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Moving on here.
My money's on GTA 6 though.
Facts.
That's not a
Facts.
It's not a bad.
I would not take that bet because I agree with you. I feel like we will see GTA 6 first, dog.
I just don't trust Rockstar.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
that too.
surprised if we
That
didn't
too.
see G. I wouldn't either way. I'm jaded.
Let's see what else here. Apparently, I don't want to talk about Donald Trump. Let's see. The next couple stories I got here are a little Hollywood-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Did I have another one besides
Stealing
these
my
two?
thunder.
No, actually.
Nah, go for it.
So this one is Apple TV Plus, Netflix, and Peacock have announced a vastly reduced price that was promised. Basically, we're moving back to the bundle days where you used to pay for cable and you would get all your channels and that was it. And now the streaming apps have realized that they can't make money and the only way to make money is to bundle their apps with others and hope that people stop canceling. Because that's the biggest thing. We last, I think it was last week, we were told that Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max are going to be available as a bundle.
That's a good rival bundle, bro. I'm not gonna
and then
lie.
now we got a Peacock, Apple
man.
TV, and Netflix bundle.
Dude, if we could get Peacock out of this bundle and swap it with Max, that would be all I need, dog.
A Max,
I would be
Apple
okay.
TV, Netflix is not
Yeah,
bad.
bro. That's a
good
fucking.
bundle.
That's a conglomerate.
Because I mean, technically, I already have a Disney bundle, right? Like, I don't know if this. No, it doesn't. Like, the Disney, Hulu, and Max doesn't include ESPN. I got Disney, Hulu, and ESPN now. I'm good with that bundle. And then I would do a Max, Apple TV, Netflix. That would be fire.
Max isn't even really obligatory, I don't think.
It's not.
There's no bangers really dropping these days. Like,
tough.
what?
Yeah.
If I had to
It's
forego,
so sad.
it really is. Which is why I think the Netflix, Apple, Peacock bundle is sounding pretty fire. In the tweet that I sent, I just reread it back. It says through Comcast.
Yes.
Does that mean like is Comcast brokering it? Do
That
we
was gonna be
need to
my
have
question on that.
Comcast?
I'm not 100. So Comcast owns NBC Universal, which owns Peacock.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that the reason that it's through Comcast is that you would sign up for Peacock and then you get Apple TV and Netflix. It's like that's who controls the bundle is through the Comcast, NBC Universal. But they haven't released, any official. I don't even think they've released numbers. So
No, there's not. That's what
we
we're,
don't even know
that's
what
we're all
the
waiting
pricing
on.
is.
What do we think? Can we throw out some guesses, fellas? What do we think is an adequate price for those three services to be bundled?
I am thinking those three. They're saying that it's supposed to be more of a deal, right?
Right.
Because Netflix supposedly, because
By like
Netflix
$2.
is like what 20. It's at that $20.
I feel like it's
right?
at that $20. I think 20 is fair for Netflix. Yeah.
Right. I want to say it's at that $20 mark. Apple TV Plus is at that $10 mark. Max is that 10 as well?
I think Max is like 14.
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
HBO
Max
is
is
14,
14
20, bro.
minimum.
Like it's up there. Yeah.
I don't pay
Max
for
is
Max
14 for
'cause,
1080p.
It's I get it for free with AT&T. So
Yeah, it's 14 for 1080p.
okay. So 14. So yeah, I was thinking it's gonna probably be about $29.99. Like that.
I would pay
range.
that. I was thinking in the 30 to 50 range.
I was thinking 35, yeah. But that's honestly probably too low.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
For which bundle are we saying here again?
It is Netflix, Peacock, and Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, for Netflix, Peacock, Apple TV, I would be comfortable with 35, but it's probably going to be more than that. It's probably going to be 45. It also depends. So, Peacock has a tiered level. Netflix has multiple tiers. Apple TV is the only one that doesn't have any tiers.
Right.
There's just the one flat. So what does this bundle include? Is it the
Commercial Netflix?
Yeah, is
Or-
it the commercial Netflix and commercial Peacock, or is it the
they do that
ad-free
shit.
Netflix and ad-free Peacock? Is it the 4K Netflix and 4K?
Because what they're advertising at this point to be the discount, right, is going to be the bottom tier
included
of
tiers,
all of
yeah.
them.
Right.
Yeah, and then there's going to be
But if you don't want those,
you
give
don't
us
want the ads.
$75 a month.
Cool. Oh, wait, but you also want 4K.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense. That makes
All
sense.
all of that just jumps it up.
As soon as I saw this, because they have that, and then what was the other bundle that was? I don't know if it was announced or if it's just
Hulu, Disney
rumor.
Plus,
Disney, Hulu, and
Max.
Yeah, okay. So Disney, Hulu, and Max, like they're doing it too, right? We are smack dab, like right back to fucking cable, bro.
100%.
And the thing is, you can't even go back to cable because they don't have the shit that's streaming on Apple Plus or a lot of those streaming services. So we're in a shitty spot.
So the only major difference now is like you could watch your TV on demand. But wait, wasn't like about a month or two ago we were talking about how some of them were they were testing out like channels.
Yeah,
I forgot which ones they were, where it was just like
Prime has channels.
Yeah, well, they have channels, but
you just Juac's talking about like literally just live TV streaming,
live TV, yeah,
like a television channel.
Yeah, like they have live TV, and then you just catch it like a la fucking TV back in the day. So like some of these streaming services are adding that. So we are literally going right back to cable, except the pay-per-view is the main feature. Yes.
It's cable over IP is what we're basically.
And this isn't even factoring in guys that want to watch sports that don't have cable. You want to buy a sports package? Oh, add another $300-$400 on that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so and Netflix, they're doing that whole boxing thing where they're having live events. So
that is true.
So they're testing that already.
There was something I saw recently about if you want to watch every NFL game this year, it would cost you something like $845 because of all the different agreements that they've made for games.
It's gross.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. Because they've got all these specific streaming games that are on Peacock, games, all the Thursday night games are on Prime. It's I can't find it. It's wild though. It's
similar with MLB
live
too.
events is almost impossible. Sports, they just haven't found a good way to do sports on these streaming packages. And then like the biggest challenge, something I was listening to earlier that was talking about this was that this whole idea of bundling is a protection against a churn, right? Like people canceling and then maybe resubscribing later, because what was easy before in cable, right, is you started up a channel, right? You sell it to, let's say, Time Warner or Comcast. They include it in their cable package. You get paid
regardless
for the whole year for all of their subscribers. And all you have to do is create enough content that people still watch your channel enough times out of the 230 channels that were available on the package, right?
Lost in the volume.
But now you have to, in order to keep a Max subscriber, you have to continuously pump out good content so that people don't cancel Max. And maybe Max is a bad example because HBO was always pay to add on, but like Peacock was fucking free, literally. Didn't even have to be on, NBC was free.
Right.
They bundled in all the, the USA Network and all the shit that they've created over the years under the Universal brand. Okay, fine. But most of that content was either free or part of cable, but you paid one price. You didn't cancel it because that was the game in town. And now, like, I think I share a Peacock password with someone else because I stopped paying for it because I didn't find enough value in it. They got The Office. Okay, cool. I also have The Office. And
only thing I wanted to watch on Peacock was Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal was good.
That was it.
Poker Face was good. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that I watched on Peacock. Oh, Tulsa King, was that Peacock or was that Paramount?
I don't know. You're the only one who saw
Seems
it.
Paramount-ish.
Tulsa King was good.
Paramount. I know. What's his name
That's
was
it.
Paramount, the mayor of Easttown.
Mayor Kingstown.
Yeah.
No,
Kingston,
yeah, that's Paramount.
That was Paramount.
So yeah, like, you know, there's just not enough to keep you there.
Yeah.
And that's the same with a lot of these streaming services. So
Hence the bundles.
that the bundle would keep me signed, you know, keep me a member of Peacock longer than I would be normally.
Yeah.
Then they need to step their fucking game up.
Kinda
They do.
smart.
That's the thing. But that costs them more money.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that was another story I had here, is that now, because shit costs them too much money to create these shows, they are trying to change the way that they pay actors. And they're starting to float this around because what Netflix did when it started doing series was in order to make their shows seem legit, they signed a bunch of legit actors, right? Yeah, I think, you know, their very first big show was House of Cards, and you had Kevin Spacey, and you're like, holy shit, Kevin Spacey, major actor, he's doing a show on a streaming channel.
Yeah.
What is going on, right? Netflix is for real. And that just continued, but they were just throwing money at these folks. And now they've realized they can't keep
That's
doing
not
that.
sustainable. Yeah.
It's not sustainable. So now they're trying to go like the film method and give folks smaller payment up front with the chance to get a bonus based on how many people watch streams.
Which they don't release the numbers of.
Not yet, at least. So they would have to, obviously.
Right.
But or at least disclose it to them, right? Not publicly.
Not publicly, sure.
But yeah, that would have to be kind of the idea behind there, where they would let's see, it says here bonuses will be doled out based on several factors. Size of bonuses will be based on 3 criteria: the number of people who so this is specifically in reference to something that Apple TV is throwing out there. The number of people who signed up to Apple TV Plus just to watch your show, how much time they spent watching, and the cost of the program relative to the size of its audience. So people with one of the top 3 shows could share up to $10.5 million for a season.
Damn.
Seems kind of small, actually. Now that they could share $10.5 million amongst the top 3 shows and the top actors. That's not a lot of money.
What do they get paid normally? Like, what do you think? What's his face made for Severance? The main dude. I can't think of his fucking name.
We're Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. Thank you. I wanted to call him Scott, but I knew that wasn't his first name. I think Adam Scott. Like, if he's sharing, $10 million with his cast, I'd have to know what they were making. I mean, you're big guys. You're A-listers that are signing up for Netflix. That probably won't float, but you're fucking Frank Grillo's trying to get in on a good show that happens to hit. He'll fucking split $10 million all day, son.
Well, of course.
I'm saying it's relative to the actors that we're actually talking about and what they're getting. And I don't know what the streaming service. I feel like they're so close to the chest when other than like, oh, they signed this comic to $100 million for 6 comedy specials. Like, they really don't tell you numbers. So like, you have nothing to compare it to, really, right?
Yeah. I think Netflix just started reporting their numbers finally, but it was viewing hours.
Yeah.
Is what they started reporting. But they're still the only streamer that's reporting anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a
shadowy.
shady.
Very shadowy.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, it could. I don't know. It's a tough. I don't know how I feel about it. If I was an actor, if I would be, interested in that, or
If you're
if
Brad
that-
Pitt, probably not.
Yeah, because like these people that were making these money, they get these box office deals, right? They made all these Marvel actors made a ton of money.
Yeah.
Off of these, End Games and Avengers type flicks, right? Off of the box office deals that they were getting. I don't know if streaming translates the same, though. That's the thing.
I don't think so. Got to temper
probably
your
not.
expectations.
Word. Didn't Scarlett Johansson get fucked over like that somehow?
I think she did, yeah. Because her pay was tied to the box office, but then they ended up streaming the movie instead.
That's right.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Was
so
that
she
Black
probably
Widow?
got Black
yeah,
Widow. I
Black
think she
Widow,
probably
that's right.
got I don't know, less than $10 million up front, and everything was supposed to be on the back end, but they streamed it, so she got no back end, and ended up suing, and she made a ton of money off of
Fuck
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Word.
Good for ScarJo.
Word. Yeah, good for ScarJo. How much did she make off of that?
20 mil.
20?
I'm just guessing. I have no idea. That sounds right, though. So probably what she would have got. Not the going rate for big
Let's
actors.
see.
So she wanted 100.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so she was paid 20 million up front.
Oh, damn. She got 20 up front. I would have been like, you know
She
what?
was
Cool.
asking for 100, and they settled. Terms of the deal were not disclosed.
Oh, fuck.
I see 80 million on top of
Oh.
her 20 million base
So
salary.
she did
so-
get a hundo.
So she ends
then.
up
She got
getting her
100.
hundo.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Do you,
Yeah.
boo?
She's a fucking $100 million for doing one movie
Yeah.
that didn't even do well.
They got it though. Ah, man. Yeah, I got this nice little swing arm now. Let's see. Not necessarily news, but I thought this was just in case y'all hadn't come across this. I thought it was pretty fucking great. Y'all know me, right? We've my stories of past relationships and child support and all of the shit that I've gone through. I love it when men, or the not necessarily men, but the people who normally get fucked over in the relationship turn around and turn it into a win. So former NBA star Gilbert Arenas proposed to his girl and gave her a $400,000 ring. They break up 8 days later. They eventually make up, and he fakes a relationship with her for 4 months just so that he could switch out the ring with a fake ass ring, and then dipped. So she sues him and loses.
Nice.
Very
That's a
nice.
W. That's a W.
It's a W. I'm like, that is a great
That is a
fucking
W.
story.
I mean, why did he go through the effort of
She's like, bitch, give me my
faking
ring
around
back,
for 4
or I'm gonna get my
months?
lawyers out. I know she ain't got lawyers. She don't want to go to court like that.
I mean, who knows? Like, because if you do it like within the first month or so, there's something in the back of your mind that's just like, is this real? But you give it, you stay solid to your plan, and you stick it out for 4 months. Damn,
You're clapping them cheeks, thinking about how you about to take that ring back. You're
and the whole
plotting while
time
you
you know what
smashing.
you're doing. You know what you're doing. You know it, and it's not even about clapping them cheeks. It's just a matter of.
It's always about clapping
bit
him.
about
Jeez.
I mean, I'm sure he gladly clapped them cheeks. But still, it's the principle
And
of the
clapped
thing.
others. Doesn't Gilbert
it's
Arenas got like 35
principalities
kids
in
or some
this.
shit?
Sounds right.
What'd you say?
Don't he got like 35 kids or some shit?
Probably.
I think he's
I don't know.
one of those NBA
So a wealthy NBA player, probably. Yeah, that's accurate.
But shit, good for him.
Yeah,
Word.
no, I thought that was a
4 months putting
funny,
that work in.
awesome story. Yeah, he put that work in. Well, on that note, Hollywood. All right, so we've had a number of things pop up in the last few weeks. So I would try my best to. I would try my best to, make something out of this
Let's
news.
see.
The most recently, apparently, Chris Nolan is stirring up some rumors. And he shared a mysterious image of the famous spinning totem from Inception, which got people thinking because I guess people have been having rumors for years that there's possibly going to be a sequel. Either that or they've been clamoring for a sequel, which, in my opinion, doesn't fucking need a sequel. I don't know why a sequel would even be in the conversation. But we are here, right? So that sparked a lot of speculation that he's possibly going to be working on the sequel to Inception, for his next film. My question to y'all is, if this is true, because we have no idea, right? We don't know. He's definitely shared this totem. So it's from the man himself. However, if it is, would you want this to be a continuation of the story in the first film, or would you want this to be a whole new story with a whole new cast that's, that deals with the same concept?
I'm going to go same concept, new cast, new story, because I fuck with the dream levels and shit, and I feel like there's a lot of story that can be told sort of with that premise. And as much as we want to know sort of what happened to Cobb at the end of the movie, blah, 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 I think, like you said, I think that stands alone just fine. But like inside of a universe, like an Inception universe, I think another story, could be cool using that same premise, but not necessarily let's get him to sell his company. Like, I think there's other stuff that could be worked in there and make it just as tight with the slow-mo action and shit. I feel like that. I mean, I would see either one. Let's not front, but I would love to see a new story with that same sort of concept.
I agree. I think the first movie, this is the real reason why I'm like, I don't know why we need a sequel, right? The first one was great. It's honestly one of my favorite movies. And that's why I love Chris Nolan so much, is not only is like, just, he can take a simple concept, right, and make it visually stunning. But this was so intricate and done so correctly. Something like where Tenet is probably the most extreme.
It's a little dense,
Yeah, where it was just like a little more convoluted of a story, whereas Inception
found that balance.
And it could have been kind of it could have been very confusing, but
I think
it just
people still find
worked.
it confusing.
Inception?
Yeah.
I didn't find it as Tenet was.
It's still a cerebral movie,
right.
And if you're not of the viewing audience that ever watches anything cerebral, it's not a popcorn flick. You have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Or you will get lost.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so I
it's not for the Fast and the Furious crowd.
Exactly. I mean, I've run across people that are like, oh, no, that's a good movie, but I was lost at some points.
Yeah.
And, I get it. But, I would also agree that Tenet was even more
It was
Dense.
so
in that
crazy.
space.
Yeah.
But my point on saying that is the fact that the first, like, the way that it ended with you not knowing exactly like what was real, and I would love to keep that. If we keep that, then we can have a sequel because obviously, you know, with Cobb and everything, like they explained that this was done by more than him. He was just the best at it. That
Right.
person thought he was the best at it.
Right.
But this is not a foreign concept. This is not something that was legit only his concept, you know, like something that only he can do.
Yeah.
So the story can expand to maybe somebody else who's and if anybody can make that work, it's Chris Nolan.
Of course.
So yes, Johnny made that, you know, in the when we talked about it in the group chat very briefly, he made that that comment of, well, in Nolan we trust, right? Yes. I absolutely
Just like Gunn.
trust him to do it. But
However,
I love that first movie so much, and I love the way that it ended, and I thought and that cliffhanger is, you know, still discussed by people who you know, who did enjoy this the Cerebral movie, and I love it when they end it like that, right?
Yeah.
So where do we need a fucking sequel? But that's the only way that a sequel would work is if now we don't even pay attention to what happened with Cobb. We don't learn. Was that real?
And so initially I was going to answer your question saying that I would rather it be a continuation.
Okay.
But now that you say all of that, and having just seen the most recent Joker 2 trailer, where they blew all of the fucking fan talk away, I wouldn't want them to continue that story. I would want it to be somewhat attached, right? Still in the same universe of Inception, but not the direct, you know, and maybe one of the cast members makes cameos or something.
Tom
like
Hardy.
Something,
I want Tom Hardy to come back.
you know, something to keep it connected, but not necessarily his story. I think would make it better because now having seen that Joker trailer, you know, everything that we theorized about what, you know, was that real or was it all in his mind? No, now we know it was real, and that whole concept was just a bunch of podcast nerds spending their time wasting it.
Sure.
That's what we're here for.
It's just a story. So, and it kind of lets down the idea of the first movie, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want that to happen to the original Inception.
Yeah, I
if
don't
they
want it.
continued that story and answered the questions that we had at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, that was real. His kids are back.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I
Yeah.
guess, you know, the 7,500 hours of comments that people have had since Inception was released is
The
worthless.
discussion, the debate,
Yeah.
the theories, the
Yeah.
essays that have been written. Yeah. All that is
exactly.
out the window.
Also,
Yeah, so
they can.
I don't want to see that happen.
Also, it could be a prequel that explains how he got in trouble in the first place.
Or how that technology came
Or
about.
how it came to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
that would
how
be
it came
fucking
to be.
tight, bro.
Yeah.
And
I would
that
like
would
a prequel. I would fuck with a prequel.
I would fuck with a prequel.
But then they'd
I'd
have
fuck
to
with a prequel.
de-age Leo the whole movie.
I don't
that.
even think they'll go through with that.
I mean, he looks a lot older than he did.
I mean,
does.
yeah, I mean, sure.
He sure does.
And they wouldn't even have to, you know, explain the whole Elliot Page thing. So, you know, so
That's also true.
I'm just saying.
Very true.
Because they did that in what was the Umbrella Academy?
Umbrella
Umbrella
Academy, yeah.
Yeah.
It just showed up and he was just like, "Oh, you're Elliot now."
Which where the
That's
fuck
awesome.
is that next final season, right?
Where's the Handmaid's Tale? Well, we're speaking about where the fuck is shit. Where the fuck is the Handmaid's Tale? Sorry, I'm off topic,
didn't
guys.
end?
Back to no.
No, there's one more season.
Are you serious?
Yes.
She started a whole new series.
She did. The Veil. We're about to start watching that.
That's crazy. I honestly saw the trailer for that series and I was like, oh, I guess because I didn't finish the last season of Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah,
or the
Umbrella
last
Academy,
maybe
I
2
forgot
seasons.
finished. That finished last year.
Oh, that was done?
Yeah.
was
Oh,
it?
no. I'm
No.
sorry.
There's one more
There's
season.
one
of
more,
Umbrella.
yeah.
One more season. Sorry. It says 2024, so that should be
Oh, so
dropping
this year.
soon. Yeah, that should be dropping soon.
Okay.
August 8th. It's currently posed for. So
Nice.
I'll take
August
that.
8th. And then what was the other one we were talking about?
Is that on my TV
Handmaids?
app?
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaids, yeah.
I haven't heard anything
Nah,
about that
bro.
last
That's not a good
season.
sign either. You haven't heard shit like that. And she's on
well-
a new show.
2025.
Oof.
Okay.
I think we might get the Schedule 3 cannabis before we get the Handmaids Tale.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be
2025.
GTA, cannabis, Handmaids.
Yeah, we get the season, the last season in 2025, and that's all it says.
Yeah, August
There's
8th. Look at that.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Oh, Agatha, I believe, was officially.
announced. Yeah, they announced the name.
So what is it?
I forgot what it was.
think
Oh
it's
no,
Agatha all along,
yeah, Agatha. What was the catch line?
The Lying
along.
Witch. And
No, that was
something
the-
wardrobe.
That was the joke.
Agatha all along.
Yeah, Agatha all along.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No,
No, they-
lying witch
Yeah, the
Oh.
lying witch
and
in.
something wardrobe. I don't remember
Yeah,
how they.
I didn't even
they
hear
put
that
a spin
one.
on it.
That
yeah.
was another name that
They-
was thrown out there.
Yeah.
It was posted on their official IG page for like 15 minutes and then taken down.
Holy shit! No, that was definitely not one that I had heard.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that was like the 6th or 7th fucking name that they had released. I didn't have a chance to write everything down, but I saw that a bunch of dates were dropped for Marvel shit. Like Ironheart, I guess, is dropping in 2025. It was just a bunch of stuff. But speaking about that was a good segue to what I was going to bring up next. Marvel came out and they said they confirmed that their plans to reduce Marvel's output to 2 to 3 movies a year and 2 series. So they're downscaling everything pretty drastically in comparison to, what
I'm okay with that.
last few years of
Now
Marvel
that
shit.
puts the pressure on to be good. Then they gotta really make sure they're bringing it. If you're gonna fucking tighten your shit up like that,
I think that's the goal.
That's the goal.
I know
That's the goal,
that's
yeah.
the goal. But now you can't fucking miss, bro. When you do that,
Nah.
I feel like you can't miss.
Honestly, bro, they've been everything that they've been doing as of late has been very promising for Marvel. Obviously,
the
we saw the Deadpool trailer,
The Daredevil.
the Daredevil changes. They added. We talked about it last time. They added Mia Goth as the villain for fucking Blade. Like they're doing like these very subtle changes, and I think that that the fact that they're going to be focusing on 2 to 3 movies a year means that they are going, like, everyone is going to be focusing on these 2 to 3 movies, and that is going to be a win, because when you're pumping out fucking 10 movies a year, fucking 6 series, right? Like 6, 7, 8 series, bro. Like,
how can Kevin be?
yeah, he can't
Can't
possibly
pay attention
pay attention to
to all of it.
all of that
Too
shit.
many pots on the stove.
Yeah, but 2 to 3 movies a year, 2 series, I think that's very doable. And I think this is the beginning of Marvel's return to the top. And that's
Y'all heard it here,
okay.
folks. Y'all heard
And
it here.
I'm just saying, and but and they have to be, because I think DC is on their way to something great as well with James Gunn at the helm, and I think they know that. And not that they have to fucking compete, right? They don't necessarily have to compete, but even though, like, it could be friendly, but there's gonna be some competition. Exactly. There's going to be some competition there, right? Even though they have a good relationship with each other, there's going to be a level of them seeing each other at a fucking red carpet and going, but what do you think about blah, 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 how it went again? We won that one, like it's going to be good. It's going to be that friendly competition where we win. And I hope that's true. So
we
but
the
we will
viewer
see.
win.
Yes, we the viewer.
I thought you put us on the Marvel side for a second. I was like, dog, you just said we're not competing.
No. We the viewers.
Word. That's good.
Win.
I
So
like that.
let's see. What else can I bring up here? The Russo brothers came out and they said, since we're talking about Marvel shit, that they believe that there is no superhero fatigue. It's just a big generational divide is what they said. And this is the quote there. He said, there's a big generational divide about how you consume media. There's a generation that's used to appointment viewing and going to a theater on a certain date to see something. But that part is aging out. Meanwhile, the new generation are, I want it now. I want to process it now. Then moving into the next thing, which they process while doing two other things at the same time. So it's very different. It's a very different moment in time than it's ever been. So he just thinks that's pretty much what he's saying is like he doesn't believe that there's a superhero fatigue. It's just a matter of the audience is different and they're just consuming media completely different that makes it seem that way. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I think I don't know if there's a fatigue, but definitely they've been shoving way too much shit down our throats that just wasn't good enough. And then they raised the bar with Endgame and Infinity War, and they just haven't been able to hit that marker anymore because they just got way too excited with the fact that
they shot that load too quick.
Yeah,
and now
they
can't
shot that
pump
load,
another
bro.
one out. They're like, give me a minute. Come on, dog. I'm trying.
I mean, they started to, right? Shang-Chi was dope, but then they just kept trying to.
Shang-Chi was good. Yeah.
I thought it was good. I mean,
Shang-Chi.
It was good. I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say it was dope.
I thought it was dope. I thought it was good. It was out of all of the shit that has come out in the past few years,
But
it's
low
at
bar.
the top of that.
Yeah.
We got a
how
few
do you
of 'em.
compare Shang-Chi to like you? The thing is, right? Like the MCU Avengers timeline was just a build up to this giant Thanos fight. And then it's like, okay, how do you go up from here?
Back to equilibrium.
It had to come back down, and they didn't come back down. They kind of just tried to build up. Oh, this is going to be another build
Remember
up.
Endgame. This is part of Endgame, guys.
So was Shang-Chi good? Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you haven't seen it. I think it's a good movie in the MCU. But ranked amongst MCU movies, I don't know that it even makes top 10.
If it came out in 2010, though,
if it came out in 2010, it'd be great. It'd be fire.
untouchable, dog.
Coming after Endgame, it didn't. It still doesn't meet the mark. And the problem is like, without resetting, how do you generate enough interest? I disagree with the Russo brothers. I think there is superhero fatigue amongst non-casual nerds like us. And we're at the lowest bar of nerds. You know what I mean? Casual nerds and uber nerds, they'll watch superhero movies, and complain about them till the cows come home, right? Or whatever the fucking sayings are.
That's the saying.
Yeah. But the average, if I'm gonna, and I don't even know that she's the average, but let's just say my wife, she watches superhero movies that I force her to,
Like Ash.
but there's no more interest that she used to have where she'd be like, ooh, no, I like those. I like the Marvel movies. I'll watch that with you. I'll go to the theater with you.
Another Marvel movie? What is this?
Which one? No, you go watch it on your own. I'll wait till it shows up on streaming.
Oh,
like
that's savage.
Like and it's because there's like she
That's
has
sad.
zero connection to most of these characters. Now, if an X-Men movie type thing comes around,
Deadpool. She gonna go see Deadpool?
I don't think so.
No. Oh.
She'll wait for. Honestly, I don't know that she saw Deadpool in the theater, but
Oof.
but again, not connected to the MCU, right?
Sure.
So, and she definitely saw them at home, but I don't know that there was. It's kind of a guy's movie.
That's fair.
But there's just not. I don't think there's enough there to keep bringing in the casual, the ultra casual viewer, because what brought them in was, wow, I can't believe that they're making movies that can show superheroes look like actual superheroes, and then there's good story behind it too. And now it's like that's run of the mill. Like anybody could do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's only about the story and how like great can your story be if it's about another fucking Cape Crusader or whatever, right? That's where the draw needs to be.
Yeah.
Drawn. Yes, I agree.
Oh man, nah. I mean, yeah, your average moviegoer, nowadays I think if they
it's
say,
hard to make them give a fuck.
It's hard to make them give a fuck, but nowadays it's like, whatever the popular thing is, they jump on the bandwagon real quick, and I think it's popular to hate on superhero movies at the moment until the next big thing comes up.
Until the big movie comes out, right?
Yeah, and then once a big movie comes out.
Because that's the easy thing to do, right?
Right.
Hate on bullshit. And there hasn't been really, besides any of the Spider-Verse flicks, there hasn't been like a great superhero film to drop that I can think of.
Yeah.
There was the Peacemaker stuff, but that was TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was a good like film. I mean, again, Shang-Chi was good, but it's not. I'm telling you, I take those surveys on new movies and shit.
Yeah.
And one of the questions that they always ask is, how likely are you to tell your friends and recommend them to watch this movie? And of all the comic book superhero movies that have come out over the last 6 years, I don't know that any of them are higher than a 7.
Right.
Yeah.
So they got to bring the heat. That's why I am
Not
excited,
Marvel.
especially after seeing X-Men 97. I'm excited to see if there's any kind of X-Men live action type of shit, or the Fantastic Four live action shit. Those like if they
That could bring it back home.
focus, if they focus
rein
on
it
these
back in.
really good, intricate storylines and awesome characters and big actors, I think that could bring it back home.
Yeah.
I agree. Chris Hemsworth came out and he blames himself for what happened with Thor: Love and Thunder, and said that he delved too much into the wackiness of the movie. Do you think that he's trying to take the bullet for Taika? Because I think that bullet.
It sounds like it,
Yeah.
but that bullet's already pierced Taika's chest. Like, what the fuck? It's too late now to try and dive on that grenade. But I appreciate that he's stepping up. I don't think that's true at all. I think that's 100% on the director of the movie, right? Like they control literally everything.
Yeah, and I still don't believe what Taika said, that he jumped in front of that bullet, and there were rumors that he had a whole different movie that was more well balanced, but it was too long. And because of the length of Eternals, that
They were
the
wary.
executives were worried about it being too long and had him cut it down and, and edit it in a specific way.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
Christian Bale's scenes definitely were removed, right?
Yeah. His time got chopped a lot, which was
but
really
he said,
the saddest part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Christian Bale was
It's a bright spot.
Should have been.
It was a throwaway of a good fucking actor and a good character that should have been way bigger than they were. So, but he jumped in front of that, and when there were all the rumors circulating, he said, "Nope, they never forced me to cut anything. That was the movie that I wanted." Blah blah blah. Which I don't believe that. But that just speaks to Taika's character.
I like that. I still
Yeah,
fuck
that's
with
true.
him. I'm not like a non-Taika guy. Like we're in the realm of a Taika pod still, right? Like we haven't totally given up.
I haven't given up at all.
Nah, I want to see him do something. Although I didn't watch his last movie, whatever that soccer one was, I didn't. Johnny's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Soccer movie.
It was something that it just didn't. It got just killed, review wise.
Did it?
Same reasons, pretty much as Love and Thunder. Just tonally couldn't find its groove, and not good. Coming out of the Taika camp.
He's had a few. Oh no, my bad. I'm looking at his producer list for Taika directions. Fuck. Why am I not seeing his directing catalog? I'm seeing an actor. I see writer. I see producer.
Producer.
Let me click this here. Okay. All right.
Next goal wins.
Next goal wins. Yes. 6.5. Got a 6.5. But he's still, his Star Wars movie is still on the list. It's in development. I'm looking forward to that. I think they want to probably let shit die down before he jumps into that. And he has a few other ones. I'm still a Taika.
Yeah, no, for sure. I want to see him. I want to see him come back up.
Sometimes we got to get humbled, right? We think that we could just jump right in and do the things that we do.
Right.
And we take a hit, and then it's like, all right, let me.
We were high on Ragnarok.
Yeah,
for sure.
Let me ground myself now.
Jojo Rabbit came in, and we were like, damn, my man.
Okay, so of course, I don't know how I feel about Sony, Spider-Man movies, right? Into the Spider-Verse, great. Amazing animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
Venom, not a fan of that series, and everything else that seems to be a spin-off of Spider-Man that doesn't involve Spider-Man has been absolute trash. So now we get the news that Nicolas Cage is officially starring in a Spider-Man Noir live-action series. What are your thoughts and feelings on this? I'm torn. I'm torn. Cause I still fuck with Nick Cage.
Yeah, no, I do
to
like
a certain
Nick Cage.
extent.
And I know how much he's always wanted to play Superman, so he would bring it.
He did the voice for Spider-Man Noir in the Spider-Verse.
For sure. But like a live action, remember he tested in the costume, you saw him in fucking Flash, like that whole thing. Like he's really wanted to go live action. So like I know his heart will be in it. It's Sony that I don't trust. Like I trust Nick Cage 100%, bro. It's Sony. It's whoever their people are, bro. Like whoever greenlit Madam Web and was like, yeah, we should make this. We should pour millions of dollars into this. Like if it's those same fucking people, bro, I can't trust them. I can't do it.
Do you think it has to be the same group of people if it's a series?
I hope not. I want it to do well. I want Nick Cage to thrive, and I feel like the noir Spider-Man could be tight as hell. It's just Sony, dog.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
My lack of faith is not in Nick Cage.
No,
It's
not at
in
all.
Sony.
He could be super wacky Nick Cage, but that's what we expect. That's par. That's Nick Cage, bro. Like, that's kind of shitty. Could win an Oscar. Could get a Razzie. You don't fucking know what he's going to do.
He brought that same energy to the animated character in the Spider-Verse, and people loved it.
Yeah, but maybe it was because I didn't have to see his face.
That's true. You don't really necessarily have to see it. It may not even be him. It may be when he's in the costume, it's not him. It's just certain scenes where it's going to be him. But in the costume, it's going to be possibly somebody else. And then
Do you think it'll be a black and white movie?
I would imagine so.
That'll be tough to watch.
It's not a movie. It's a series.
Oh, that'll even be tougher. A whole series
like
black
on Max?
White?
No, this is. I don't think they
Prime,
announced where it's going to be. I want to say it's Prime, but I'm not. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Prime
I guess
is
a series is a little better. I don't know. A movie seemed like a lot. I didn't really have a lot of hopes in a movie, but a series could be.
A series is better?
I feel like a series is better. I feel like a series.
More content.
It is, but maybe that's what they need. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe we just don't get it in 2 hours or an hour and a half of a Nick Cage Spider-Man.
If they were 30-minute episodes, maybe. If they're hour-long episodes, I don't know.
But 6 of them, 6 hour-long episodes.
Okay, maybe
47 minutes and change.
That's 45. Yeah, 45 minutes.
It's wait, yeah, this is Sony. Oh, yeah,
It's Sony. That's really where the shit lies. You know what I saw recently with Nick Cage that here, I'm gonna bring it up here. That actually I did enjoy. And it was let me see. It was a blatant ripoff of the Five Nights at Freddy story. What the fuck is it?
This sounds terrible.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland.
I was right.
No, and he was great because he didn't say a fucking word. He didn't speak. And you know, do you know what Five Nights at Freddy? Do you know what the premise is for that?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a video
yeah,
game, right?
Yeah, it's a video game. These kids were killed in that place by someone who ran it, and fucking their souls inhabited these like animatronics or whatever. So it's very similar thing, and whenever you're in there, you have to survive the night.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were the same movie because I didn't see either of them.
Right.
And the whole time, I remember the promotion for the Nick Cage shit one, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Nick Cage is coming out with a lot of new movies now. And then, like, I don't know, a year passed or maybe more, and then the Five Nights at Freddy stuff started getting promoted, and I was like, I could have swore this was the movie that Nick Cage was in, but I don't see him in any of the trailers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
It had
sure
Matthew
he's in the movie
Lillard
somewhere.
in it.
Matthew Lillard.
The official movie had Matthew Lillard in it.
Oh, that's funny.
But
Yeah.
anyway, Willy's Wonderland was hilarious because he's guy doesn't speak, and he's driving through this town. They blow his tires and go, "We can have it all set for you by morning. It's gonna cost this amount of money." He doesn't have it, but if you work this job that we give you, you can, we'll have it ready for you in the morning, no charge or whatever. And he's just fucking these things up, right? As some other people break in and shit, and he's just anyway. I found it hilarious. It's one of the movies that we would probably watch on our live stream.
Was it intended to be hilarious?
Yes.
Or did you just find it hilarious?
I found it hilarious. It was intended to be hilarious. It was intended to be fucking over the top, like At least that's how I took it. If they did not intend for that, they failed miserably. But anyway, I don't know. I still, he has a lot of shitty movies. He has some good movies. I don't know if they're that great as of late. The movie about himself was great. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
The Unbearable Weight.
Yeah, The Unbearable Weight. I enjoyed that. But and then with this, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. But Sony has it right down my list. But now I have to ask a question before I go into this other subject. Have y'all been watching Sugar? Or do y'all care about it?
I have not watched Sugar. I am going to watch it, so please do not spoil it.
Fuck. Well, then.
Sorry about that. Thank you for asking, though.
Yes, because it took a wild turn a little bit. And
Yeah, that's a spoiler. You don't even go that far.
Okay.
Yeah, so since Constellation was canceled, Ash and I are going to pick up with Sugar.
Okay, I just didn't see that coming.
I haven't seen this past week's episode, but I did see
the one prior.
The one prior that Juac is probably referencing. And while there was a lot of, I'll just say that in none of the descriptions, and this is something I appreciate about Sugar, and I don't know if this is where you're leading, but one of the things I appreciate about a Sugar is they do not describe anything when you're starting to watch it. When you're reading the descriptions of the show, you really think it's about what you see. And then like occasionally they toss in like these like scenes where you're like, the fuck is going on? Like there's something behind that I don't understand. And then you start formulating things like, what is this show actually about? Like this show is not about the actual thing that we're watching. There is something else going on, but what is it? The most recent episode that I saw, like right at the end, unveils something, and then apparently they continue with that moving forward. But I don't know why I brought it up in reference to this, but I will say that I so far I enjoyed what Sugar is doing.
It's a good recommendation.
And back to Marvel rumors.
Good call.
No, I am enjoying Sugar. I just didn't know it was gonna go that route. But yeah. And you'll see what we're talking about.
All right. I'll let y'all know.
All right. So since we were talking about Marvel, we have a couple smaller, announcements that I didn't really know. So after a while of speculating, one of the shows that they confirmed, let's see. Oh, fuck. Well, give me 1 second. Okay.
Ironheart?
No. My bad. Something that popped up. Let's see. So, okay. After a while of, we don't know what has been scrapped as far as like Marvel goes and whatnot. And there were rumors that this show particularly was scrapped, but it has been confirmed that Vision Quest will be will start filming in the fall of 2024, which will follow what happened to Vision after the events of WandaVision.
That'll be dope.
We finally get that fucking I fuck with that too, because motherfucker disappeared years ago.
Vision.
Yeah, White Vision disappeared years ago and
dipped. Nothing.
What the fuck has
Radio
happened?
silence.
Your word. Nothing.
Honestly, it's been so long
at all.
I can't even remember how he turned into White Vision.
I remember them like fighting in the sky. They were flying around. It all just jumbles into my COVID head.
So then it was like,
it's like a clone.
Yeah, he was a figment of her, or she created him or whatever,
she
and
conjured
then
him up.
Yeah, and then they took his body that was fucking dead or some shit, the actual lifeless Vision body, and they put they brought him back to life somehow, but it wasn't exactly him. I forgot exactly what they did because it's been so long.
Yeah, I have to rewatch
I might have to
Wanda.
go back. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. I believe it was wasn't it Hulk? They took his consciousness and Tony Stark's or whatever, like they're. Oh no! Wait, I don't know. That shit is confusing. I fucking
sounds
forgot.
crazy.
It's been
What
years.
is that?
It's been.
What the fuck were
Yeah,
you
yeah.
watching? Is that a What If episode, dog? That's crazy.
Possibly. I don't know.
That
just
does
be
sound
talking
like
shit.
What If.
I just be talking shit. Let's see. I am interested in that, and also last but not least, John Malkovich has joined the cast of the Fantastic Four in an unknown role, which John Malkovich being added to a cast, I fuck with it.
Yeah, that's never a bad thing.
No,
Like, man, that movie would have been good if it weren't for John Malkovich. You don't hear that ever. So
No,
yeah, that's a
never.
good sign. I fuck with that.
right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Hell yeah. As long as they don't chop him to like 2 minutes of screen time or something.
I mean, it's possible.
Let him stunt. Let my man cook.
Yeah, this man is working, bro.
Malkovich?
Always.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
don't really turn shit down either, so that's
He-
not the
yeah,
best
that's the
sign.
other
That's
thing,
not
yeah,
the best sign.
agreed.
But he's good. He can bring it. He's like that fucking, he's in shitty stuff, but he's never shitty in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Facts.
he has 10 movies that are coming out.
That's
Or
bananas.
10
Fucking A.
10 projects.
And he's starring in
That's
none of them.
bananas.
They're all just like little shits that he pops in,
Mm-hmm.
does a little Russian accent, eats some Oreos, and gets the fuck out of there.
Eat some Oreos. Oh man. All right, that's all I got. I have some more stuff, but we can save them for another time. They're nothing too important,
nothing too cray?
nothing pressing. Yeah. Y'all fucking with anything?
Dark Matter, cut.
Dark Matter.
Dark Matter. Only the first
Yes.
2 eps out, but they were tight. They were kind of, I felt like they were spoon feeding us a little bit, but I think that was just sort of getting shit kicked off.
Sure.
But it was
We get
good.
the next one by the time
Wednesday?
this airs. Yeah. So Wednesday,
tomorrow?
Yeah, so tomorrow.
Yesterday,
yeah,
if
tomorrow.
you're listening to this.
Pretty sure it came out today.
Oh, really? I thought I just got an
Possibly.
alert for Loot. A new episode of Loot dropped today. I didn't get a Dark Matter
Never seen
alert.
Loot. I
At
might
least
try that.
according to TV time, it says May 14th is the release date of episode 3 of the box.
Oh, all right.
I need to rewatch Dark Matter. I was way too drunk the first night that I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta watch it now." Let's watch it. My wife is like, "You're not gonna make it through it." I'm like, "No, I totally will. I'm good. I'm just like, I'm just like excited
Vibing,
or whatever. I'm just
chilling.
vibing. I'm not sleepy. I'm still
Right.
good." And
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I dozed out through at least 3 or 4 parts of it.
I believe it.
And no, reference to the show. Like
quality
it
of
was
the
good.
show.
It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
had
yeah.
nothing to do with the quality. I was
It's
just
the alcohol.
5 sheets to the wind at that point.
Sure.
So I do need to rewatch because everything that I was watching, even though it felt different from the book, and I think that was something that I
is.
was struggling with as I was watching it. I was like, this is a different approach from the book, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
the
you
TV,
still
I
dangerous
can
kind of-
see.
That's the dangerous thing
It's
about
da- it's-
liking
yeah,
a
it's
book of
always-
something and then they
Yeah.
create it.
No,
You're
but
just-
it was-
it never lives up.
But
Hardly ever.
it's small differences. Like you don't like the
A lot of the things
I'm
that
trying
they
to- I'm-
introduce in the first episode
Yes.
in the book, you don't find out until way later.
right. Like the whole premise of the show. They give it away in episode 1. Damn near. I mean,
Yeah.
they gave it away in the trailer.
The whole concept. Yeah,
The
they
whole
give it away.
concept. The fact that it was, it was. Is it me? Is it this version
Yeah.
of me? Like that was given away in the trailer. Whereas in the book, you don't know that.
In the
for
book, he gets
a
mugged.
good while. Yeah, he gets
literally
mugged. You don't
starts
know
off
who it
getting
is.
mugged on the run home, and you're like, and then he comes home and everything is different, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So you're wondering what is going on, like, because he's going through this, and then he gets home, and it's just this weird thing. And then also, since you are caught up, and spoiler alert for not really, because I'm not giving away any of the story. It's just having to do with the characters, but the one who's his the one who lives with him in this other reality that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
She wasn't, at least it wasn't announced that she was with him or lived with him or anything until like way later, where they were just talking, and she's just a psychiatrist or whatever, and then I'm not gonna spoil it for you or anything like that, but it's way later that she goes, yeah, we were kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Whereas now, like, they're right in there.
Yeah.
Like,
He gets home, he gets to the house, and she's there, and we live together, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So like, it's like those small changes that make it better for viewers.
The only reason I'm not upset about it,
at least so far,
is at least so far. The only reason I'm not upset, and I understand that things need to be changed from book to from
pacing,
book
and
to
all
TV
that,
for all of that, is because the writer of the show is the writer of the book.
Correct.
Like, he wrote the script, like, and because he's so heavily involved,
That's promising.
I'm like, he has to know what he's doing, right?
That's his baby. He knows how to take care of it.
Right. So I'm like, it's still gonna turn up.
Yeah. That means if they released all that in the trailer, that means there's some other shit going on that we don't even know about that's about to fucking fuck our shit up.
For sure.
And IMDb is saying that next episode is tomorrow, 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and also, not to rain on your parade there, but I was heavily upset with Ready Player One, and he was also involved in the writing.
Oh,
Yeah, he was involved, but he wasn't the script writer.
That's true. That's true.
But he was involved. You're right. But also, Ernest Cline's not that great of an author.
That's what I always hear. It's just the nostalgia that everyone. Everyone
100%. It was a good first flick, and he only knows how to do it one way. Anyways, I am currently fucking with the third season of Hacks. I'm late on that, but I'm finally catching up to it because apparently I started watching it with Joyce the other day, and you know how they do a typical series will start off with a recap of the last two seasons, and then she gets to literally the end of the recap, and she was like, what the fuck was that? Did they just like play a whole season for us without telling us? And I was just like, yeah, that was last season. And she's like, I didn't see any of that.
Oh shit.
So we had to rewatch all of season 2, which she didn't want to. And I was like, I loved it so much. I'm absolutely okay with watching it a second time and laughing all over again so you could watch it. Because there's a lot of parts that they didn't touch on in the recap. So I was like, yeah, no, I'll watch it. So I rewatched season 2, just re-kicked off on season 3. And it's just as good. I still, I'm pretty sure neither of you have watched Hacks. I still recommend it. I think it's a fucking hilarious ass show. And then the other thing is the 1883. Is that what it is?
Oh, 1883. Yeah. Yellowstone spinoff.
So apparently, Joyce she came home and she was like, babe, I got a new show for us to watch. And I was like, okay.
And you're like,
she was
what
like,
the fuck?
I know we haven't been watching Yellowstone, but is there a reason why? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we both saw the trailer for it, and you said it looked too cheesy and you didn't want to watch it. And she was like, no, I saw one episode on the plane and it was good. I think we'll enjoy it. I think we'll like it. So I was like, okay, well, fuck it. If you thought you
shot.
saw the whole first episode and it was good, she's like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, fuck it, let's go for it. And then I started playing the first episode of Yellowstone, and she's like, what the fuck is this? This is not what I saw.
It was 1883 that she was watching.
So I
That
had to
wasn't
go
Yellowstone.
back and like, all right, well, what did you see? Was it the one with
Harrison
Ford? And she was like, I don't remember him being. No, the one with Faith
was
Hill
it
and
Tim
Tim McGraw. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's the whole other. You went all the way. And I was like, can we watch this? And I was like, well, technically, it's the first chronological order one.
Yeah.
We may not get some of the context because I'm sure they might say some family name that we
You
don't
will when you
recognize
watch
or
it.
something. What was that?
I said you will when you watch it.
Right. Eventually, I feel like you can watch it in reverse order and be like, oh, that makes sense now. Now I get who that person is, or you can tie them, back. So far, I think we're episode 6 now on 1883. Like, we've been diving through it, and she's still enjoying it. As I've mentioned, I respect any show that does a good job with a timepiece at making it feel authentic. Anything that feels unauthentic is in any way, if the clothing looks a little too shiny, if there's not enough dirt under their fingernails, shit like that, I'm like, nah. And there's still parts of 1883 that I've complained about.
Yeah.
That we've both complained about. We're like, how is this? But okay, whatever. I don't care.
It's good
Me
enough.
personally, my thing is at the beginning, no one apparently, like, they asked and no one spoke English except one dude, and then all of a sudden all these motherfuckers speak English.
I think they were
Whatever,
picking it up
okay.
along the trail, no? Wasn't that
Sure.
a little here and there.
Over a whole week that they've been out on the trail.
Gotta make do.
Agreed. Yeah. No, but still, regardless, I could look past that. It's a pretty good show.
Word.
Yeah. And, nothing else. Isabel May is fucking.
Yeah. Also, is it just me, or does she give off like high J-Law vibes?
Yes, 100%. I said that
Okay.
every fucking episode. To her.
Okay.
I was like,
I'm glad it's not just me.
She's like J-Law. I think
I
that's
was like-
why I wanted to smash
honestly,
so bad.
at first I was like, Jennifer Lawrence in this show? I don't
Yeah.
remember her being in this show. And then it wasn't until like 20 minutes later I made a comment, and my girl was like, wow, I didn't really see that until you said that, and now I can't
unsee
not
it.
see it. Yeah, unsee
And
it.
you know what?
100%.
And you know what? That's another great thing about the show, because everything you said was correct. And also, I looked at her. Not once did I think, man, her shit gotta stink.
That's
Even
how
when
you know
showed
she
her hairy
bad. That's
pits?
how you know she
That's how
bad.
you know even if it does.
Even with the hairy pits.
You're gonna.
I definitely mentioned that to Joyce as we were
I'ma make
watching.
it-
I was
I'ma
like,
make it work.
Dave and Juac always bringing up how stanky these people are, how their morning breath, hairy ass pits, dirty assness, sweaty, ain't showered for 3.5 fucking months.
Right.
And they still out here banging like nothing.
I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna not bang? Hell nah. You're gonna fucking suck it up.
Word. Hairy
Fucking
ass
A.
choach.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
That's all you know. There
And
was
back then-
Ross bald
right.
snatch. What do you? That doesn't even
No.
concept doesn't even exist, dog.
You're right. Yeah, and back then that was the norm.
Right. That's all you were.
all
You were going to bed dreaming of some hairy ass
know.
sniz.
Came across your first freshly clean pussy, like, ooh,
You're like, what the fuck?
fuck,
Is this
that
okay?
smells like, is that potpourri? Ooh.
Yeah. Wouldn't even know what to do.
Wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Slap some tuna on it and dive in.
Slap.
That's what I said.
Go
You
soak
wild,
that.
you wild.
Go soak that tuna in the sun for like half an hour. Come back to me.
Let it marinate for a little bit. It's not smelling right.
All right. Well, on that note, do you guys have anything to add to this stellar conversation?
It's good to be back, baby.
For
It
sure.
is good to be
Forever
back.
macho. That's all I got.
Yes,
Facts.
sir. Forever macho, man. All right. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you made it this far, you really fuck with us, so we fuck with you. Remember to rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening and watching. We surely appreciate it. Go to our website and cop some merch, man. insensitivemerch.com. Also, subscribe to the podcast so that you can catch up on all the shit that you missed prior to us dropping the episode. We always record about a good 15-20 minutes, half an hour, whatever strikes us. This time we were talking about Post Malone, and Beyonce, how they both dropped a country album, but only one of them is getting some backlash and criticism over it, right?
Sounds about white. Sounds about white, right, Rock?
Sounds about white. But remember to do all of those things. And we love you. We'll catch you next week. Peace.